Welcome back to CTV Morning Live. We are joined by Dr. Mark Zucker, joining us to talk about CHEO Connects. This has been an amazing program that CHEO has done, offering parents these seminars throughout the course of the year. There were 6 in total, I believe, and we're heading into the 3rd one.
That's correct.
So we've covered pretty much newborns and from 0 to 1, and now we're moving on to pretty much into the toddler years. So the next seminar, February 6th, the Monday night, will be focused on between 1 to 5.
That's right. So we're going to sort of take us now to the next level. So we did the little babies to start with. Last session, we're going to go to the 1 to 5-year-olds, and we're going to be sort of helping some parents out, just sort of looking at what normal growth and development will be in that age group. And then we have some sessions that we're going to have a child psychologist come in, talk a little bit about typical behavior and some strategies for some behavior issues with children at that age. We have a dietitian coming who's going to talk a little bit about nutrition for children as well at that age, and maybe some strategies, look at things like picky eating. And then we also have a speech language pathologist, or a speech therapist as people know by, who will be coming to talk a little bit about speech development for that age group as well.
These are pretty much 3 main concerns, main topics, and things that parents are constantly on the lookout for. And it's so helpful when you're looking on the internet and you're looking through books and you're what to expect during these years. It's nice to have the interaction and the question and answer period for parents to really speak with these specialists about these issues.
That's right. And so what we're doing new for this session, in fact, is we're allowing parents to send their questions in beforehand. And so we actually know what the questions are going to be, and we can sort of strategize a bit how we're going to get that information across. And there's so much information out there for parents these days. I think this is a nice way for them to sort of touch base with people and really hear sort of what we think are sort of the important topics, and maybe some strategies they can take home to sort of apply to their family as well.
And these are pretty much the crucial years when you're starting to, as a parent, you have that gut instinct that maybe your child isn't quite speaking the way that they should be, or doing certain, their mobility is a little bit different. This is the perfect time for you to be able to say, listen, this is what we're seeing, and these might be our concerns.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And so what we hope is that people can come, they can ask their questions, specific ones, and hopefully we can give them some good information to sort of help them out a little bit. I mean, it's a wide range of change that happens between 1 and 5 as well. So it's a big area to cover, but it's the biggest change in life probably as well. And you're absolutely right. This is a time when we want to make sure our kids are off on the right step.
Yeah, I'm interested in the picky eating.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm sure there's lots of questions, and that's when you're trying to install this in them, right? The healthier choices, and it's tough.
That's right. I mean, this is a time of life where you really want to be setting them up well, so looking at what you're doing with them, because they're going to pick up behaviors and what have you that will carry on into life. And so a lot of parents have a lot of questions. Picky eating is probably one of the biggest ones that we get, and what do I do with my child who won't eat? We're going to have someone there to answer exactly that question.
What kind of questions would be asked? I know we have the child psychologist on board too, in terms of the questions that they would likely get asked and what you're seeing at this age group.
Well, I think a lot of parents want to know sort of what's typical behavior in these kids. Everybody hears about things like temper tantrums, and it's a big challenge for families when their kids have those. And what am I supposed to do? How do I stop it from happening if it does happen? What strategies can I use that are simple and translatable to sort of help my child out a little bit and maybe sort of improve what's going on at home?
And maybe let them know that the terrible 2s can sometimes be the terrible 3s, and maybe a little bit of a terrible 4. There's always, we seem to categorize things, and yet it's so different with each child.
Well, exactly. And again, every child's going to be a little bit different, but there's some things we can still give advice generally to people sort of that they can do. And I think it's a great time in life, that 1 to 5 change. It's huge. You go from a little baby, you've got a little person who's going off to school at the end of that. It's wonderful to see, and maybe we can make it a real positive time in life for everybody.
It is. They go from the babies to the little people. Like, all of a sudden you look and you go, this is a really mini me, like a real mini person right there. And so you have the opportunity. CHEO Connects continues their seminars. February the 6th, everything will get underway at 7 o'clock. It's going to happen at the adult high school in their main auditorium there. Of course, it'd be great if you could get in advance, but you are taking people as well at the door.
That's correct. So you can go onto our website, and there will be a little icon there you can link into for information. You can sign up in advance, but also people can just show up if they like for the evening sessions for sure.
Perfect. Pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Harvey.
We're going to take a short commercial break. Still plenty more to come here on CTV Morning Live. The list is long. We've got still our own Groundhog Day prediction with our own groundhog here in the city. We have yet to name him or her, but we'll get to that in just a little bit. We're back after this.